me to do the Bûches?
Sure. I've already butchered the name today.
Well, I'm going to butcher the mini.
And I told you we weren't going to be away very long. Captain Lou Obama back on the mic. I've got the Derby Nerd with me this time.
I'm back.
We're going to call the championship game of Fresh and the Furious 2014. We have one team that I expected to be here, Les Bûches from Quebec, various leagues in Quebec. And we have one team I did not expect, but after seeing them play their first couple games, I am not surprised in the least that they are here. I think this is going to be a fantastic game between the Canon Dolls of Capital City in Ottawa and Les Bûches from various leagues in Quebec.
And don't forget Cornwall, too. They have a few Cornwall skaters this year.
I keep forgetting Cornwall. It's
Yes.
like Quebec, only in Ontario.
Exactly. But closer to those leagues than they probably are to any of these leagues
Yes.
here in Ontario. This is the second straight season that Les Bûches has made it to the final. And really, Smash Squad, as I mentioned earlier, a few years ago, also had skaters from outside of Montreal on that team when they played at the Fresh and Furious tournament. And that was the Too Fresh, Too Furious.
That's right. It's hard to keep track of them all. I'm glad they've just gone to the Fresh and the Furious and a date.
Yes.
It's so much easier than following the movies as they track along.
Although there are like 6 or 7 of those movies. They could have kept going.
The 7th one is coming out. That is correct. Yeah, Les Bûches. So basically, Quebec is looking to have a three-peat today.
And they've looked impressive so far. You mentioned that the
Yes.
Canon Dolls really turned some heads from the start, but so have Les Bûches. Both teams scored 100 points in their opening games in victories, 118-33. The Canon Dolls crushed the Belleville Bombshells. But good to see Belleville here with the team. This is the first year they've taken part in this tournament. And Les Bûches had a high-scoring affair with the Neophytes, another mixed league team from northeastern Ontario. 150-105 was the final. The only game so far where both teams have scored over 100 points. Oh, no, that's not true. The Thickets and the Neophytes.
Thickets and Neophytes also, yes.
Neophytes, high-scoring team in this
They
tournament.
are.
This is the 4th championship under the Fresh and Furious moniker, the 5th if you count the Virgin Suicides brawl.
Which was way back.
Way back, 2009, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
2001 by the Death Row Dames, now defunct team from the Hammer City Roller Girls.
Yep.
They defeated the, was it the Thames Fatale in the final?
I think did they beat the Thames in the semis and they beat someone else in the finals?
I think they beat the Slaughter Daughters in the semis, which was actually a much closer game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why if you talk to some of the Thames, they'll say they probably shouldn't have gotten second place because the Slaughter Daughter. It's one of those things that happens in the bracket that sometimes the second place team might end up in third. But
either way, a lot of really good roller derby players in that tournament.
Yes.
And that's continued with the Fresh and Furious. We've seen skaters over the years. We're now seeing skaters from 4 years ago, the first Fresh and Furious tournament, playing now on charter teams. I mentioned Ames to Kill playing tonight for Toronto's CN Power in Baltimore as we speak. So we've seen how this tournament can develop the skaters of the future for these leagues.
Yeah, and there are definitely some skaters from Montreal roller derby on Les Bûches that I suspect we will see move up over the next couple of years towards the new skids. And Capital City is an apprentice league now in the WFTDA, and I have to tell you, there are some skaters on this rookie team that I wish I had on my travel team for Royal City. They have really impressed me. The jammer rotation from the Canon Dolls of LaBrosse, of Kamikaze, and of Kaiokenzi have just been dynamic to watch all day. They've been unstoppable, all three of them unstoppable. And if there is a team that can stop them, though,
it could be
the team in yellow.
Les Bûches. And they've had a trio of their own who've been dominating with a really, really strong jammer rotation of La Grande Noisseur from Montreal, and also Camionnette, who's somewhat of a triple threat from Montreal as well. And then the third jammer in the rotation, Rapidas from Rimouski Roller Girls. That's a pretty big threesome as well, and they've put up a lot of points in this tournament so far, including all 3 games. They've scored 100 points offensively so far, or they have scored 300-point games out of their 4.
So this will be the 5th game for both of these teams, I believe. And this game is going to be a 20-minute game with no halftime. It originally was going to be 2 15-minute. It was originally going to be 2 15 minutes, but it is now going to be a 20-minute game.
20-minute game, yeah. So we're just going to stick with the same model.
Yeah, this day has been stretched out as a result of some injuries to both referees, NSOs, and skaters. And we have a limited amount of time, as in 11 o'clock we all turn into pumpkins. So we're going to have a 20-minute game, an all-out sprint to the finish, like all the games today have been. Kind of fitting in the end. We like we like to have that even Steven 15-minute halves, 5 minutes in between, have everyone swap up. But there's not time for that, so that's going to be a straight-out sprint. See who can get to the finish line first.
That's right, and thank you for sticking with us all day through these long injury delays. I mean, they're the one kind of delay that you just can't avoid. And we are underway here, the championship of the 2014 Fresh and Furious Tournament, live at Ted Reeve Arena. Le Grand Noisseur is up front, pushing against a 3-wall at turn number 2, looking to take the first lead of this game, and she is through, and she does have it. Good start, Captain Lou.
Kyle Kenzie also getting out of the pack. Really strong defensive effort on the part of the Cannondalls. Edmonton, number 720, has just been rocking it all weekend long. She was standing nose to nose with Le Grand Noisseur, and it looks like Kyle Kenzie threw with an apex jump. 4 points for the Cannondalls.
Unbelievable. There's Edmonton with a big hit at the very end of that jam, right on the whistle. It's going to be legal.
Yep. Number 780, just as the whistle was blown. 4 points, 4 points. And Les Bûches had a lot of the times this weekend, if they get lead, they run the full 2 minutes. But I think they realize that strategy is not going to work against the Cannondalls. They had Grand Noisseur call off the jam. Maybe if they get a better jammer matchup, they might try it again. But at the moment, not happening in that one.
No, they have not faced a jammer rotation quite as talented as this one. And no, Labrosse right off the start knocks down Rapidas, showing that these jammers are going to be physical as well.
Labrosse taking a quick outside line, zipping her way through the back and picking up lead jammer. She's followed also by Rapidas. We'll have to see how this jammer race goes.
And she does have about a 40-foot lead, and all of the points from Les Bûches are exposed at the back of the pack. Labrosse hits hard, goes outside, goes inside, and then finds no way, has to go outside. Did she get any points?
She did. 2 points, so the lead goes to the Cannondalls on the second jam of the game. First jam was still a tie. So the first lead of the game takes till jam number 2.
And this has been a nice setup for Les Bûches so far, having Camionette out with the pivot stripe and Le Grand Noisseur jamming. It's been a nice setup for them.
Yes, they do work very well together. Strong blocking, strong jamming, and an option to pass the star if the star needs to be passed.
But Edmonton also out there pivoting once again for Capital City. She is going in back-to-back jams here. On the inside, another lead.
And a back block to Le Grand Noisseur is going to send her to the penalty box for 30 seconds. First power jam of the game. First mistake made by Les Bûches. And here comes Kamikaze. The Camionette picks her off in between turns 1 and 2. Knocks down Phantom Slim, the OPR. Camionette going to the penalty box for her efforts.
So this is a big opportunity here for Capital City now. A pack advantage and on this power jam. And Camionette, one of the top blockers in the penalty box as well.
A good defensive stand by the ladies from Quebec, but they've got to do it all over again as the power jam continues.
Oh, Kamikaze making her way through, did fall down, decides to call it off as Le Grand Noisseur gets back on the track. Big pickup for the Cannondalls, who've taken an early lead. Really, I don't think the Bûches have been pressed very much at all.
No, there was one game earlier in the day, which was, it was actually the Neophytes. The Neophytes were actually very close to, were actually leading, I believe, at one point. But that sort of fell apart in the end when penalties lost control. Pivot line taking some action once again. We've seen that a fair amount this weekend, Derby Nerd.
It's coming back into play, the pivot line, getting a lot of love this weekend. Those two, Gonads, the last line of defense can't hold back Kyle Kenzie, but it's going to be a lead jammer for Rapidas and Les Bûches. With only 2 blockers on the track, pick up lead.
Oh, Kyle Kenzie not willing to just skate. She wants to make some contact again. Kyle Kenzie again is going to steal points as non-lead jammer. Rapidas does get through and pick up 4 points of her own, but that is matched by Kyle Kenzie.
She doesn't seem interested in calling this off at all, and the bench is giving her that signal to keep going. Oh, now telling her to call it off after the lap had been done. Cannondale is leading 20-8.
And I think,
Play.
another thing that the Bûches have not faced today is that their jammers are not the fastest jammers on the track. Their jammers are getting caught by the jammers of the Cannondales, the impressive jammer rotation of the Cannondales, and they are having to call off the jam rather than let the jams run.
Nice move by Le Grand Noissoir, noticing they had to pivot on the track, grabbed the panty herself and threw it off the helmet cover. Slight pack advantage here for Capital City. Scrappy start right off the jam line, the Mill Street jam line. Capital City, though, getting the LaBrosse is pinballing her way through as lead jammer. Takes a look back, though, right on her. About 20 feet back is Le Grand Noissoir.
I mean, for a rookie, LaBrosse getting really low coming through that pack, using her ability to absorb those hits, calls out the jam, no points on the air.
Really good skater.
No points in the air. But, I mean, Le Grand Noissoir, you can't say enough about her. She's fantastic. But LaBrosse, for me, was a complete unknown quantity until today.
This whole Cannondales team for me was a complete unknown quality. We haven't even heard much from their top-level team either this season. They've quietly been going about their business. They have had some games, but they haven't done a lot of traveling, really, and haven't had any really big matchups. They just seem to be slowly kind of building from the base up, which could be good for the future.
Another jam underway. It's Rapidas going to get through for lead jammer for Les Bûches. Oh, and Kamikaze having to avoid her own skater, Ice-Tina, who had gone down. That delays her a bit from getting out of the pack. Cami Annette forcing a track cut.
Nice block from Cami Annette. Cami Annette does enjoy that face-to-face turnaround blocking, and she was able to force a cut from Kamikaze. So power jam now for Les Bûches. Down by 12, 6 minutes in. Big opportunity here to get back in this one. 5 points already picked up. Second scoring pass now for Rapidas.
Pivotal defensive stand. Cami Annette able to open up that wall. But look at that. That's number 2.
That is Apple Sass with a nice hit.
She's
sassy hit.
And again with, she might pick up something for that one, but.
Someone.
Yep. How to play block for Apple Sass.
Heading to the box. Working well with Ice-Tina, number 720. Good pivots on this Capital City team as well, not just the jammers, but Rapidas coming in. Looks like we're going to have a pass. Cami Annette picks up the star. Oh, she goes through the pack without it on, so no points picked up.
Not sure that was a wise move. There was only 2 blockers out there. She could have waited and put the star on and picked up those points.
And they could have taken the lead, but they did not, and now the jammer back on the track, so power jam over.
Lead likely to happen right here as Cami Annette runs. But Cami Annette knocked down to the inside, and she is slow to get up. The jammer's going to get called off. That is for injury. And Cami Annette.
She did fall hard on a skate, it looked like, right on her side.
She did pick up 4 points. That does give us a lead change for the skaters from Quebec. The jam being called off because of injury means that Cami Annette has to sit for 3 jams. Normally in the course of a game, 3 jams is not a lot, but in the course of a 20-minute game, 3 jams is plenty. And as she has pretty much been out every single jam of this game, as a pivotal player, hopefully she is going to be okay and able to get back into this game.
Yeah, she hasn't moved too much. Skaters have been directed off the track. There is the Capital City bench. We've had a few injuries today. We would like to report that everyone is okay out of the hospital. Well, we've seen both, Miss Universe from the Ganaraska Gravediggers actually got casted and came
she is
back at the venue.
She is back to watch the finals. I mean, that is roller derby for you.
There's actually too many skaters on these sidelines today.
Yes, way too many skaters injured. Stop getting injured, skaters. We don't like it. They've taken off her helmet. I believe they're just checking out her head, seeing if she's okay. Yes, we have the World Cup of soccer finishing tomorrow. And I know a lot of roller derby girls have been watching that and wondering why players in soccer hit the ground so easily and roll around like they've been murdered. Whereas in roller derby, you have skaters breaking their ankles and desperately trying to pull themselves off the track so that the jam can continue to roll.
And looks like they're again, like they have with all the injuries today, they're really taking this, handling this carefully. A lot of roller derby action going on across Canada today and across the USA, across the world, really. If you haven't heard, Gotham, of course, defended their #1 spot today with a big win over the London Roller Girls in London.
That extends their streak of wins to 50 in sanctioned play.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Is the second longest streak still the Oli streak, which is something like 21 games?
I believe that's true, yes.
Less than half.
Less than half. There's been some action out at the Tobin Tussle. I know that Team Alberta defeated Team Ontario this morning.
Yep.
I don't know the results from this evening.
No, and also a B-level travel team tournament going on as well.
Right.
That same weekend.
I know there are some home games going on at Terminal City after they defeated Houston last night. They had home teams playing tonight. I believe it's Terminal City Championships tonight. And Hammer City hosting Ithaca.
That's right.
Ithaca League of Women Rollers.
Yeah.
Who will face off against Tri-City tomorrow morning in a hangover bout.
That's a big game tonight, too. They're both fairly evenly matched in the 80s and Division 2.
So, yes, lots of roller derby action and lots of roller derby action here at the Ted Reeve Arena at Fresh and Furious 2014 edition. This is game number 28. Game number 28, the final game. And again, we have, because of these injuries we've had all day, this tournament has stretched out a bit longer than it's usually intended to.
This game was scheduled for a 9 o'clock finish, but again, as we said, all the delays have all been injury-based, so they're not delays that could be avoided in any possible way whatsoever. This is, we've already had three actually very lengthy injury delays.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody wants to use an injury to slow up a game. No one wants to get hurt out there. It's just the happenstance of roller derby that with a lot of physical contact comes injuries.
Yep, of any sport. We had a close game going to 22-20. Seeing the referees there at the center of the track conferring. It's been the last 3 seasons. This is the 4th straight tournament I've been here, and all 3 tournaments previous to this have all run so smoothly. Very minimal injuries. I mean, some minor injuries. I don't think the ambulance has ever been called. It's already been called here 3 times today.
And, you know, Ross Vegas and I were talking about that in the game previous to this, in the 3-4 game, and the supposition put forth is that, you know, the fresh meat are advancing so quickly now and showing such a skill level that the games that are played at this rookie tournament are a much higher level than they were over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And as a result, because they're playing that much closer to the edge, the injuries are happening.
Yeah, maybe not quite there where they want to be yet, or where they think they should be, and just playing hard derby. Camionette definitely is an example of that. She's been
for sure
playing hard all week. She's been playing all weekend. She's been playing a lot of roller derby today, often double shifted.
Yep.
And she's been a huge competitor for this team.
Yeah, she's been a warrior out there. I mean, she's the captain of Les Bûches. She's done a yeoman's work all weekend long. I know they do not want to lose her from this game. I know that she would not want to leave this game if she does not have to, but they're still checking her out. Safety is paramount, as always. So again, Les Bûches, starting off today, defeat the Neophytes, move on and face the Renegade Derby Dames fresh meat team, defeat them as well. And
they weren't massive defeats. They're both about 40 so points, but especially that Renegade Derby Dames game, I never felt like they were threatened with the victory. They always seemed to have a slight lead, and that lead was never quite threatened.
Yep. Then went on to the quarterfinals after winning their first 2 to face Olop, Our Ladies of Pain, from Royal City. Quite handily defeated them, though Our Ladies of Pain hung in with them for about 7-8 minutes of that game. Made it interesting until penalties sort of wore them down, and Les Bûches put a lot of points up, and then went to the semifinals, where they defeated South Simcoe.
And that also was a tight game. It was 56-52 at the 10-minute mark of that one.
That's right.
With a very slight lead.
And then it blew open a bit at the end.
And the Cannon Dolls have had a big day as well. They also won 2 straight in the elimination round to go right through that 118-33 game against the Belleville Bombshells to start things off. And then they faced Orangeville's Fox Force 5 and beat them 63-38, which was a kind of a tense game. And that shot them right through to the quarterfinals, where they faced off against the Thicket from Forest City and put up what at that point was the biggest defensive match of the day, a 59-15 victory. But that, of course, was bettered by themselves in the very next game when they held the Divas to 7 points in a 119-7 semifinal victory. Impressive.
Yeah, Cannon Dolls continuing to get stronger as the day went by. Competing very well against Les Bûches. The power jam obviously hindering their ability to put points on the board. Their defensive efforts have been strong, but Camionette was able to get the lead for Les Bûches before the head injury. And she is now sitting up on the track.
That's a good sign.
It is a very good sign. It looks like she just had her bell rung. I believe she's going to be all right. It's a question of whether they want to move her off the track or not, or if they want to wait for more assistance.
This is kind of an as I mentioned earlier, an interesting Final Four with the Cannon Dolls really turning a lot of heads with very impressive play to get here. But
yes.
South Simcoe also very impressive. And this is the first time they've moved on to the Final Four of this tournament. The Divas and Les Bûches, they're kind of regulars here. Divas have finished in the top 4. This will be the 4th year in a row. Top 3, I think, 4th year in a row.
Yeah.
Top 3. And Les Bûches have 2 years in a row now in the final, and 3 years for a Montreal Quebec team. Oh, and Camionette is now standing and walking.
Yeah, her skates are off, so they're going to take her off to the side, make sure she's not concussed, make sure she's safe. But I do believe her game is done. That is a huge blow to Les Bûches. Their captain going out, one of their jammers and pivots, like you said, triple threat.
Yeah.
Not a skater you want to lose.
And
They'll soldier on, as they always do.
Yeah, let's see emotionally how they can handle that as well. That long break. It was a tight game. No one really has. Les Bûches just took the lead back from the Cannon Dolls, 22-20.
We've got about 13 minutes left in this game. Time tight on the real time clock.
Yeah. Thank you again for sticking with us all day here at the Fresh and Furious. You've been troopers yourselves. Le Grand Noisseur is jamming for Les Bûches. And we are looking at the same picture you are. Oh, it's La Brosse.
Wow.
And she pops through. Oh, sorry, it's Kyle
Kenzie.
It's that side ponytail.
They have very similar styles and looks. So Edmonton unable to hold back Grand Noisseur with her hips. Kyle Kenzie is already around the track and through the pack, picking up 4 points for the Cannon Dolls, and that's another lead change, nerd.
It is, and here comes La Brosse. Oh, now I've got it the side ponytails on the right shoulder for La Brosse. That's how you can tell the difference.
Noted and remembered now.
Yes. And she's out there against Rapidas. Les Bûches taking the pivot line, forcing Capital City to come up with them. 3-3 in the pack. 2 points again is the lead. Being traded back and forth here between these two teams. 8 minutes in.
La Brosse getting really low last time getting through the pack and playing jammer defense to start with, trying to hold Rapidas back. And they're both going to get through at the same time. La Brosse clearing the hips first, getting lead jammer, Rapidas, and they're going to play jammer on jammer bumpsy-do as they go around 3 and 4. No one really getting advantage. La Brosse crashed the pack. She calls it off before she picks up any points. I believe we will check. It is true, 0-0.
Nothing changes. 2 points remains the lead. Le Grand Noisseur back out there against Kamikaze. I'm just guessing. I'm going to assume that they're going to stick with that 3-jammer rotation.
Yeah, it makes sense.
4-4 now. 5-on-5 roller derby.
So Les Bûches having good success in getting their jammers out since Camionette went down.
Yeah, let's see what they do with that rotation. They have jammed a few other skaters periodically throughout the day.
This time it's Grand Noisseur doing the jammer on jammer, hitting at the beginning of the jam. That sets up Kamikaze into the 4 wall of yellow at the back, and Legrand Noisseur not wanting to let go. Sparkell trying to hold her back. She's not going to be successful. Lead jammer Legrand Noisseur also getting out is Kamikaze for the Cannondals. And Grand Noisseur looking to regain the lead for the ladies from Quebec.
She's going to have to be careful, though, because there are exposed points at the back of the pack. And Kamikaze is going to hit that pack, and she's going to pick up as Edmonton drags Le Grand Noisseur all the way back. 4 points picked up for Capital City.
And 4 points for Le Grand Noisseur, and they're going to run this jam a bit longer.
We're coming up to the 10-minute mark. Halfway through it, Cannondals with a brief lead. Nice outside-in move from Kamikaze. Easy 4 points. Grand Noisseur now also getting through and getting forward. 3-2 pack advantage suddenly for the Cannondals. That's Edmonton leading the way against Badland with the pivot stripe. For Les Bûches, the jam is called off.
Yeah, that Edmonton Sparkell combination is just nasty for the Cannondals. Grand Noisseur did pick up 4 points, so it was even Steven jam, 8 points aside in that. But time ticks down on the clock. We are down under 10 minutes. The halfway mark is complete in the championship game, and the Cannondals are still in the lead by 2.
The third of the Montreal skaters, Candela Arnac, is the pivot right now for Les Bûches. They're at the pivot line once again. Rapidas coming on the outside.
That's special sass or apple sass.
Apple sass.
And she holds her just long enough for Kaio Kenzie to get through for lead jammer.
Kaio Kenzie takes a look over her shoulder, sees Rapidas, and picks up the pace. A nice burst of steam. 4 points all exposed at the back of that pack. She breaks her way through the wall, calls it off. Did she in time? She did. But only 3 points picked up.
So not only is she fast, not only is she agile, but she's got the ability to turn herself sideways and use her shoulders to slice those walls apart. I mean, a rookie jammer. This is ridiculous.
And calls it off just in time.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic work on the part of the Cannondals. Grand Noisseur is going to take the star this time for Les Bûches.
Against Labrosse. I'm guessing again. I haven't seen her yet, but
looking to
it's her turn. It's her turn on the rotation.
Contact on the whistle.
Grand Noisseur coming up against Edmonton now, going face-to-face. Nice work from the pivot from Capital City to force her outside. She does come back in and gets by Sparkell on the inside. Lead jammer for Les Bûches.
And Labrosse was held back just long enough. That'll get Grand Noisseur an opportunity to close the gap a little bit more. Penalties trouble for both sides. Only 2 blockers on the track. Sparkell trying to hold Grand Noisseur back. Not going to be successful. Or is she? Oh, look out. Labrosse on the outside picks up 4 points of her own.
Nice little apex jump there.
Wow.
Both jammers getting through. Sparkell getting a penalty now. More troubles for the Dolls. And Grand Noisseur looking to get some jammer on jammer action. Oh, ends up going down hard, getting a skate up into Labrosse's face.
Oh.
She kind of shakes it off and keeps going. And she's tough.
And she's, yes. And we've got virtually no blockers starting this jam as far as I can tell. Now, we're going to have 3 for Les Bûches, but I think we're going to have 1.
Yep. 1. I don't know if Capital City's aware of that. They do have 3 blockers in the penalty box. Let's see how long.
We'll have to see how this goes as the jam is about to start.
Applesass should be the only.
Finally gets out there. So Applesass can be the only blocker out there. And Rapidas is going to have fairly free reign, but she gets tangled up in that pack. That's going to let Kamikaze get through right behind her. So no real advantage with that 3-on-1 start for the Bûches Cannondals.
Nice work.
Shut it down.
Applesass. These both blockers and jammers having great tournaments for Capital City. Wow. Rapidas, though, showing that they're still very much in this game. Powers her way through that inside line. Picks up a lot of points.
Millie Malise doing a great job as last line defense for Les Bûches. And that's going to allow Les Bûches to take the lead, I believe, with that 5-point pass. Just looking for the scoreboard to change. I could be totally wrong on that. This is going to be 4 points for Kamikaze.
The Cannondals still pacing ahead on this jam. They went in up by 5. It looks like they may be getting out of this up by 5 as well.
There's 4 points for Rapidas as she breaches the pack once again.
So this might be Les Bûches' strategy working against them because the Cannondals are just maintaining their lead here and killing a lot of clock.
Yeah, most of the teams were unable to match jam for jam against Les Bûches in this tournament so far. This may work out. There's still a lot of time left in this jam there. There's a lot of time left.
40 seconds. Rapidas gets pushed to the outside, way outside. Comes back in. There's a nope. Was a penalty called? Skater. Oh, skater heading to the box in the wrong way. I think she's going to be sent back around.
She is. Sparkle also going. So now only 2 blockers left on the track. Now the strategy coming into effect for Les Bûches.
So it did work out in the end, perhaps, but Kamikaze almost through, gets knocked to the inside, comes on the track. Oh, a momentum
is a track
cut.
Those hurt so much.
She knew it. She didn't want to do it.
Applesauce is heading to the penalty box as well, so that's going to only leave number 27, Catherine Hipburn, on the track. And Les Bûches have taken the lead. The strategy working out in the end there.
Actually, I think it's going to be a tie game. 3 points coming on the board at the end of that jam tie.
50-50.
But you are right. The strategy did work out. They made up that 5 points. It just took them 2 minutes to score 5 points.
But they do have a power start, and they do have 2 blockers aside. 2 blockers on 4-on-2 blocker advantage. Can't get that much better.
No. Big opportunity here. Official timeout being called.
We have 4 minutes and 58 seconds left. And there you go. Les Bûches just picked up 5 more points.
There it is.
So they do have the lead. So great bench coaching from...
Yeah, so they did make up 10 points then on that jam.
Yeah.
5 points being added.
Canas de Barbert. Edith Q doing a great job on the bench all weekend, all day long. I like to say weekend because I'm used to Beats of the East where it's spread out.
Feels like it's been a weekend.
It is, I know. It's so many games. 28 games in one day. It's madness that this is even attempted year after year, and yet this is the 4th time through.
Yes, and we keep coming back every year.
Yeah, you know.
To broadcast it. We'd like to thank Mill Street for providing the beverages and for the sponsoring the jam line. This is the Mill Street jam line that you see Les Bûches crowding around.
It's a fine place to sponsor, really.
Yeah. Applesauce and Edmonton are going to be the lone 2 blockers. That's a pretty good duo.
That is a pretty good duo. For rookie blockers, I'd be a little concerned if I was any jammer out there. That jammer, of course, is Le Grand Noisseur, a jammer that I would be concerned if I was any blocker out there to try to block.
And all 4 of the Bûches blockers are going to let Le Grand Noisseur go at it alone. I don't know if that was the smartest team to do it against. I think we have.
We do not. It was out of play.
Oh, it was out of play, yes.
Yeah, out of play on Edmonton. That means Applesauce can be the only one out there, and she cannot get a piece of Le Grand Noisseur.
Badelaine heading to the penalty box as well. That will take away from some of Les Bûches' blocking advantage.
Sparkle is out of the penalty box.
Oh.
Applesauce going to the penalty box.
Bad timing on that one as the spot came open just as the jammer was coming around. Had to let her pass.
So barring mistakes, Les Bûches look to have regained the advantage. Oh, inverted blocking not working against Le Grand Noisseur. Absolutely running her over.
Such a tall skater, and she can kind of just bowl right over top of you. Power jam over, though. Kamikaze back on the track. Through on her initial pass. Le Grand Noisseur, though, has really helped build Les Bûches' lead. This is the biggest lead they've had, I believe, of this game. Now it's going to be 24 points when it's all said and done.
Yeah, nothing additional on that last one. So 24 points is the lead. So big jam for Les Bûches. Has time running out in this game.
Yeah, only under 4 minutes to go. Edmonton right back out on the track for Capital City wearing the pivot stripe. Oh, pivot is in the box, so she's going to have to throw it off.
Yeah, Applesauce is still in the penalty box. Penalty woes still plaguing the Cannondalls. That really is what Les Bûches have used to build this lead over the last, to regain the lead, or to build the tie and then regain the lead. But nice push to the outside, and that's going to be a track cut. That is going to be a track cut on Rapidas. She tapped to the outside after being hit by Edmonton, and she's being chased to the penalty box for a back block.
Kyle Kensie, the jammer, so both penalties negated.
We're going to go the full 2, Derby Nerd.
And I have to feel like this is going to play to Les Bûches' favor. This is kind of what they've been doing anyway in this game.
That's right.
So they may be happy to do this. But Kyle Kensie has been very successful so far as a jammer. She's having a hard time, though, at the back of the track. Badelaine holding her off on the outside. Finally, she's able to break her way through.
Yep.
Initial pass is complete. And Rapidas having a hard time. Now it gets hit by Edmonton, gets knocked out and dragged all the way back around turn number 4.
Wow.
Nice hit. Smart heads up play, and she's going to be caught on a cut.
That is a track cut. Double penalties for Rapidas. And wow, the Cannondals with a huge opportunity to get right back in this game with time ticking down, Derby Nerd.
Yeah, it looked like she almost had a lane on the outside, but nice defense from Les Bûches on this power kill. They've done well so far in this game when they've been at a disadvantage. 5 points now picked up for Kyle Kenzie.
24 points was the gap at the beginning of this jam. 14 points is the gap as the jam continues. 35 seconds remaining as the power jam continues. Nice opening by Ice Tina.
And a nice little tap on the shoulder from the jammer indicating she wanted to go to the outside. Ice Tina opened it up. Kyle Kenzie shrugs off a hit, but then takes a big face-to-face hit from Ultrasonic.
But Ice Tina opening up the wall again. Rapidas is out of the penalty box, now able to score 2. Applesauce goes down. Rapidas goes down over top of her. 4 more points.
We are coming up.
Kenzie.
And that's going to be it for the end of the jam, or for this jam.
Any additional points? 2 more. Oh, Lordy.
74
to 71, I believe.
We're waiting for that to see if it's been added. Hasn't been added yet.
It is.
There it is.
3-point game with 1 minute remaining.
Wow. Under that danger zone. Could be the last jam of this game. Le Grand Noisseur out there jamming against La Brosse. Edmonton now going face-to-face against Grand Noisseur. Cannot hold her, though. Grand Noisseur is your lead jammer, but right on her tail. La Brosse also able to get through.
This is going to be interesting whether Le Grand Noisseur is going to be able to run this clock or not. All the blockers disappearing for Les Bûches. There's going to be no one to stop La Brosse. She comes through. She gets 4. 4 also for Le Grand Noisseur. Time running out. No, she's going to call it off. We will get one more jam, I believe.
Yep, we will get one more jam.
And timeout indicated from the bench. Delicate Plower, one of the skaters for the Dolly Rogers. The travel team for Capital City, indicating she wanted that timeout. Thank goodness, because I am more than happy to have one more jam in this game. And with this 2 points.
2 points separating. This will definitely be the final jam of the 2014. Well, maybe I shouldn't say definitely ever, but by all precedent says this will be the final jam of the 2014 Fresh and Furious tournament. It's been a long day. Both of these teams started playing many, many hours ago, and have fought right through here to the very, very last moments of this championship game. And you're hearing it now from the crowd here. Not a bad crowd for considering all of the delays and how long we've had to go.
Yeah, people have been here for 13 hours now. 13 hours in this venue. We're going to have a 3-on-2 pack start for Les Bûches.
And once again, it's going to be Applesauce and Edmonton, but official timeout being called. But Applesauce and Edmonton are going to be those two.
Edmonton, I'm amazed by the skills Edmonton has as a blocker. I mean, and you know, perhaps she's played somewhere else before. I don't know, but I know she hasn't. I have not seen her play with Capital City before, and she has been absolutely fantastic all day long.
Yep.
Super impressed. Pivoting, just absolutely great awareness. Les Bûches has fantastic blockers too, but man, I have really fallen in love with the Cannondals.
Yeah, I think it maybe the element of surprise is what's doing it, right? We expect always Les Bûches to come with a strong team.
Facing off his pivot is Le Grand Noisseur, who has jammed all game and now getting to block. Pretty fantastic blocker of her own.
Yeah. And Gonads holding that outside line has also had a very good tournament for Les Bûches as well. Oh, Rapidas getting knocked to the inside.
It is a track cut. It is a track cut on Rapidas.
It was a nice move. You mentioned that was Applesauce, I believe, that was the one who shot back and drew that cut, but it's going to be...
Time is out on the period clock.
And she is lead jammer.
Pass will finish this game. Kyle Kenzie gets it. 5 points on the board. They've got the lead. Delicate Plower says, call it off. She does. And on the final jam of the game, the Cannondals come through and take the championship, Derby Nerd.
Unbelievable. We just talking about how they were capturing our hearts all day. Well, they took it right through to the end. An upset in the final jam of the 2014 Fresh and Furious coming through with poise, able to knock that jammer out, had the wherewithal to shoot back in that track and draw that track cut brilliantly played.
Great teamwork, great teamwork.
Yeah. And talking about the level of play, how it's risen every year, and that's just a sign, that sort of sophisticated level of strategy you wouldn't have seen in past Fresh and Furious tournaments. So very impressive.
And you know, it would be very easy for the skaters from Quebec to be upset that they have just lost the championship. But when that jam was called off, all I could see was applause coming from the skaters in gold and from their bench staff, applauding the team that defeated them, because it was a well-deserved win by the Cannondals, and Les Bûches fought tooth and nail all game long. And you have to be able to respect the team that defeats you is a great thing to see from a rookie team as well.
Yeah, for sure. And they they had a lot of adversity, losing Camionette, their captain
That's
and on-track leader,
triple
threat for them. So losing her, but then also being able to just recover from the emotion of that long break, the 10-minute timeout, while she was helped off the track. So, yeah, impressive for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, the future of roller derby in Canada is very strong. And from the States, we saw some great skaters from Queen City and Rock City playing on the Queen's Court. But, man, there has been some great first year roller derby that I can't imagine what they're going to look like 2-3 years from now.
And not always from the traditional leagues. Like we said, South Simcoe having a massive tournament. The Roller Rebels, this team, the Cannondals we've talked about. Some of the other teams, Orangeville, for the second year in a row, I believe, making it to the quarterfinals.
Yep.
I might have to look that up. But still, another year where they've had a strong showing. Ganaraska, the Gravediggers, maybe another breakout team for this tournament. Made it all the way to the Final 8. And nice to see Forest City back with the Thickets, who looked strong as well.
They did look very strong. So I will look forward to seeing these skaters skate in the future on travel teams, home teams, wherever I get to see them.
Yep.
There are some great. I have some new people that I like to watch.
Yeah, for sure. There's Jax Lotopis, center of the stage, the head announcer for this tournament. I think she's about to she's giving the trophy, and there's the third place awards for Toronto's Divas. The Deadly Viper Assassination Squad, the farm team from the Divas. Juggernaut J, the captain, being hoisted up. Another strong performance, as we mentioned. This is the fourth Fresh and Furious tournament under this moniker, and this is the fourth year in a row that the Divas have finished in the top 3. They finished second, runner-up in the Fresh and Furious. They finished third in 2 Fresh, 2 Furious. And they were runners-up last year in Fresh and Furious GTA Drift. And now third place here once again. And saluting that, they were saluting the Cannondals team that beat them so soundly in the semifinals.
Beat them senseless, and that was a brutal beatdown for a semifinal game. I'm sure the Divas were happy to come back and win that 3-4 game.
Yes.
To salvage some victory out of that loss.
Yeah, opportunity for Toronto just to see, where can we improve? I think they're used to maybe losing a little bit to Ottawa teams, but not losing to capital city teams maybe at all. That was somewhat of a surprise. So, big congratulations again to Capital City and to the Divas for this third place finish. And that is that they've got Holly Rocket. And I'm not sure if she is the MVP.
I think Holly Rock. I don't know if she got the Luisa Camareras Award for the Heart player earlier today.
And there it is.
Luisa was a skater who died earlier this year from an asthma attack. A skater at GTAR who runs the Fresh Meat group, who ran the Fresh Meat group on Facebook, and is still run in her memory. And she did great things for roller derby when she was here, and her memory lives on at the Fresh and Furious tournament.
And congratulations to Holly Rocket. That's quite an award. I'm sure she will, remember that for a long time. And here's your second place team, Les Bûches.
Second place for Les Bûches, the team from Quebec, made up of skaters and Ontario, Cornwall, Montreal, Rimouski, Trois-Rivières.
Yep. And kind of an even mix.
Yep.
of skaters from those leagues. Just 2 skaters from Trois-Rivières, but nice to see. It's taken a while, a little bit, for leagues in Quebec to start to get going, but the leagues they do have in Quebec are very good. Yeah, Roller Derby Quebec is an excellent organization. Of course, Montreal Roller Derby doesn't need anyone pumping their tires.
No, they're a strong team. We expect to see them in the Division 1 playoff, which we'll find out in just 3 days, I believe, where they'll be playing. They'll be pushing hard. I know Smack Daddy and Little Mama are looking at possibly retiring at the end of the season. Well, Smack Daddy has come out and said it straight out that she is done at the end of the season. So I expect big things from her during the playoffs, Smack.
She's just starting a family, of course, so leaving the sport, but one of the first faces maybe of Canadian roller derby when we look back upon it all. And here they are, the champions of the 2014 Fresh and Furious tournament, the Capital City Derby Dolls.
For me, they came out of nowhere, but I feel like a fool because they were massively destructive and able to put points up by the pant load. I really enjoyed watching the Canon Dolls today.
And they did live up to that name, blew apart the opposition. So impressive. Breakout moments for so many skaters on this team, and I think that they're going to be faces that we're going to see for a long time to come in Eastern Canadian Roller Derby.
Yeah, normally in a fresh meat tournament, you say they have so much potential, but man, they're skaters that are already there.
They were playing some high-level derby. And Capital City, their first top 3 finish. Kyle Kenzie going up first. No one following her. And there's the trophy, the Fresh and Furious trophy.
So undefeated all day.
Yeah, I think, that's right. We have had champions lose early in the tournament and come back and win. I think it happens a little more often in the Beast of the East maybe than we see at the Fresh and Furious, but it has happened here. Timmins, the first year, Gold Miners' Daughters, did it. There they are.
They seem to be rather excited about having won this tournament. I don't know why that would be.
No.
5 games they managed to get through, I believe.
Yeah, unbelievable. For those fans of Eastern Canadian Derby, you know the Beast of the East. Well, we do that in 1 day for this tournament.
That's right.
And again, with all those injury timeouts, it's extended it even further. And we thank you for sticking with us and watching all day.
For
your
surviving this event with us.
Trying to do multiple track streams while we have massive delays. Trying to organize voices and NSOs and ref crews, and it's been an interesting day, but again, we've managed to fight our way through it and get here to this trophy ceremony.
So I guess the next big Canadian event will be the Maple Stirrup in August, and then we go straight into the playoffs after that, the WFTDA playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, Maple Stirrup will be an interesting opportunity for. Oh, and there's the check.
Kyle Kenzie picking up the monster muffin check.
And that is the winning team gets $500.
$500.
And anyone who plays roller derby knows how much that will help toward buying maybe a new set of jerseys or shorts, whatever you want for Monster Muffin. So congratulations again.
And big thanks to Monster Muffin for being the sponsor of the championship prize at Fresh and the Furious 2014. I don't know, Derby Nerd. I think we're...
Yeah, and here they are about to get the trophy. And there it is.
There was some celebrations in town and in Ottawa as Capital City reigns supreme on Saturday in Toronto.
We'd like to thank everyone for all their work today. Thanks, of course, to Layer 9 for bringing you this live stream all day. Once again, throwing it all together and holding it all together and delivering high-quality roller derby for you. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Mill Street, Zach's Brews Cream, of course, Monster Muffin we just talked about, and St. John's Ambulance, who worked extra hard today.
They will have stories to tell.
Yes. That year I worked at the roller derby tournament, and the ambulance came 3 times.
I should thank Jax for organizing the announcers, Jules and Regulations, and Sparkles for organizing the NSOs and the officials, the referees for this tournament. And
we'd like to thank you again for your patience and sticking with us all day.
And GTAR. We should thank GTAR because they host this tournament. They put a lot of work into it. And we wouldn't be here if they weren't hosting it. So thanks, GTAR, for having Fresh and Furious once again. Hopefully we'll have it in 2015. And Nerd, hopefully we'll be back here to call the action one more time.
We will. Thanks again to everyone. From the Derby Nerd,
I'm Captain Lou Obama. Go have a nap.
And thank you for watching the Fresh and Furious 2014.